welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you an NFL Week 3 preview between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Now you look at the Steelers coming to this ball game, traveling up to Indy. First and foremost, you want to protect the investment in Ben Roethlisberger, so look for the Steelers to keep an extra guy or an extra tight end or an extra guy on the White Freeney side. Protect the blind side. I really like Roethlisberger's ability to see front side pressure and get out of the way. You don't want him to take another hit like he took last weekend against the Seahawks. So protect the blind side, keep an extra guy to chip or get a bead on Freeney before you drop back to pass. And I like the diversification of the running game, getting everybody involved, running different types of run plays out of the same formation. I like that about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They showed a lot last week against the Seahawks. The Seahawks came in with a stout defensive line that could stop the run, and they ran roughshed over the Seahawks defense. I want to see more run diversification against the Indianapolis Colts. And don't be afraid to take those shots downfield. That goes without saying. You have the speed to threaten the cover 2 defense, and look for Big Ben to have a field day throwing vertically against the Colts secondary. Defensively, you have to get back to Steelers football, getting that pressure, causing havoc. You did so last week. I want to see you guys take the next step this week against Kerry Collins. So really, in essence, you can play the run on the way to the quarterback. Collins is not the precision passer as Peyton Manning, but you still can get pressure on him, and he still is adequate if you give him time. So playing the run on the way to the quarterback allows the Steelers to stay aggressive against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you're the Colts coming in, you got to get back to what the Colts used to run back in the late 90s and early 2000s. More double tight end sets at the line of scrimmage, more of an ace formation. If the Colts are in that ace formation, 2 things it does. It widens out that defensive end, it widens out those outside linebackers, so you weaken the rush, and it allows more opportunities for the Colts to get the ground game going. When they used to have that ground game going out of that ace formation, the Colts were dangerous. They operated off play action very well because that wide receiver used to creep up like he was blocking and shoot to the post or shoot down the seam. So I like that. If they can get back to that type of offense while they have Kerry Collins back there, that's going to bode well for that offense, and it's going to help keep that offense on pace and compete against the Steelers. Defensively, it's up to that secondary to compete, guys. The safety play will be vital this week against the Steelers. You have to stay deeper than the deepest man. Simple safety football by its definition, and the Colts can have some success, because if you creep in the backfield, if you allow yourself to try to jump the short route, the speed of the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers will get behind you, and Roethlisberger has the arm to complete those passes. Now let's look at the X factors in this ball game. Both teams have significant X factors. The biggest X factor, I want to start with the Pittsburgh Steelers because they are the road team. The biggest X factor that you have to look at, I look at the fact that they have to come in and dominate the center. If they can dominate up front, if they can dominate Jeff Saturday, it falls on. Recently, they're saying the Steelers defense is pretty much getting old. But I want to see Casey Hampton dominate up front. Jeff Saturday and him is the biggest matchup I am going to watch. So that's the X factor for the Steelers. Casey Hampton. The X factor for the Indianapolis Colts will be the White Freeney. He has to make life uncomfortable for Ben Roethlisberger to get that ball out quickly, get some sacks, because I'm willing to bet he's favoring that knee, and he's going to be worried about it going against this type of defense that can get pressure on the QB. I'm going with Pittsburgh on the road. I think the Colts will be game. They're going to get back to ground and pound old Colts football and operate off play action, but the Steelers still have just too much offensively, and you have to take the quarterback is like this. Roethlisberger, Collins, I'm going with the Steelers. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.